It's McMoney Inc. here. So this is my crazy short haircut. I like it marginally better than I did the other day when I had my meltdown. So I find that when I'm on YouTube, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube, I just got cable in my apartment in my own name for the first time, and well, I've been living on my own since I was like 23, and it's the first time I've had cable in my own name by myself, and I've watched it once in a month. So I'm not a big TV fan, and so I watch a lot of YouTube music videos mostly, um, and I find that I click on a few things, and I listen to a few things, and then a lot of dark stuff starts coming up. A lot of murder stuff, the music videos that are being provided for me by the YouTube gods get darker. The images get darker, satanic essentially. They get the makeup on. So I watch a lot of um, AI Viking rap and things like that, and some what is it? There's a badass country rap that I like. But yeah, they tend to get darker and darker, and the images get darker and darker. And I think one of the reasons I don't swirl into this abyss is that I've been relatively free of media, especially television. Like I said, when I was 18 years old, I was sleeping 12 hours a day and watching 12 hours of TV. And I was living in my parents' basement at the time. And for some reason, when I moved out at 18 for the first time, well, anyway, got my first apartment with my best friend at the time. I put down the TV remote and I never picked it back up again. And I find that that has been one of my saving graces. I have not seen the progressive um, deterioration of what we're viewing on a daily basis. So I recently subscribed to some YouTube channel that's showing the horrific murders that are going on. And I don't know if this has been going on for years. I mean, I'm not friends with too many police detectives, none actually. So I don't really know just how depraved society can really get, really, in real time. But I'm watching these videos, and I only watch a couple minutes of it because I have a good enough imagination that I don't need to watch the whole video to know. The headline tells me pretty much everything I need to know. So I'm watching these horrific videos of teenagers committing crimes, parents committing crimes. Like, yeah, it's really bad. So I've been trying to get across the message that there's some very dark forces, and not to get all biblical, but one thing I heard was that the um, the biggest success the devil had was to convince us he's not real. And that doesn't even make sense because um, there always needs to be a balance to some degree, right? There's always negative, positive, protons, neutrons, that kind of thing, right? There's always a balance in the universe, and right now I feel we are tipping quite badly to the dark side, quite badly. I'm seeing um, a lot of females are partaking in the dark arts. Um, I feel a lot of females are getting pregnant on purpose to create an income. Um, you know, imprisoning men basically in a life of working to pay for these children, and then those children are having children very young, which puts the fathers and grandfathers on the line even more financially because the young women can't provide for themselves because they can't work because they're only 17, don't have an education. And I feel like the women are initiating their children into this, they're manipulating their sons. um, Again, this is just what I'm observing. And in my own life, um, because I'm expressing this, I'm being quite literally systematically tortured. And I believe it's by the women in the community. There's people breaking into my apartment every single day, and they move things around. They take my jewelry, anything I could use to make money. I think they may be selling some of my things to the highest bidder. They'll just take sugar, coffee. My coffee would be okay for a few days, and then all of a sudden, they give me piercing headaches. I don't know if they're poisoning my food. Just overall, social workers, doing illegal things and trying to pass it off as helping their clients, such as my hydro bill went into arrears $3,000 when I went to jail because my heat was cranked the whole time I was in jail for 8.5 months. And Hydro never bothered to contact OW to say, something wrong with the bill, or contact the building and say, is this tenant okay? Because, the bill is this much and it should only be this month considering it's the middle of a very hot summer. And ethically, you probably shouldn't, as a hydro company, not alert a building when it's electric heat. Shit tends to turn into a fire very quickly. But anyway, so I'm finding a lot of social workers, a lot of female lawyers, a lot of female judges, a lot of female crown attorneys are banding together, and yeah, there's certain men that are being allowed off crimes, and there's women. And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but there's women like me who aren't on their side, who aren't devil worshippers, who are being screwed over. I've been forcefully injected upwards in 50 odd times, held down by at least four security guards. I've had my eye socket broken, like concussions, neck injuries, hip injuries. Like, yeah, I've been through the mill. And so I'm at court tomorrow again. And yeah, they're just, I know, and I was reading in the paper that and I've been very vocal. Oh, sorry, I got something in the oven. Hang on a second. I got a roll in the oven. I've been very vocal about cameras being pointed, not just at me, but at children, and just because those are recording devices. See, just like I'm doing now on my cell phone, recording. And Google sent me a message to my phone. I don't know who else they sent it to. And they said, unless you explicitly write to us and tell us you don't want your phone recording, it's always recording. And that's what they sent me. Now, I don't know if they sent that to everyone, but they sent it to me, which means probably other people got it too. Or maybe they just wanted to see my reaction. Maybe I didn't write to them. So which means when my phone's pointed at someone, it's always recording. So unless I can check your phone, or unless I can, guarantee that you're not someone who has access to your phone, which is pretty much any techie person on the planet, any government official, any police department, so anyway, so basically anyone who could tap into your phone. And it's happened to me before that, some random has told me he accessed my phone. So yeah, so anyway, so the point is that there's people particularly holding their phone like this, and in change rooms, and I've been setting boundary after boundary after boundary after boundary. And now I'm reading in the paper that there's some C9 bill or something, hate crimes, that they want to punish people by throwing them in jail for life. And I'm not stupid, I know that they're trying to deem me as a racist. I get the shaved head, right? They're trying to deem me as a racist. I'm not a racist. What I am is a spiritual person who has a lot of problems with, I don't know, spiritual beliefs that are in exact contrast to mine. Christians and Catholics traditionally will help anyone. They'll give you the shirt off their back, typically if they're raised right. There are other cultures that part of their culture is take whatever you can for your family. And I get that, protect your own. But that doesn't mean you get to rob whoever you want, beat whoever you want, imprison whoever you want to further your own culture. And again, I find I'm watching videos of, traffic accidents, 401, transport trucks running into the backs of pileups of cars. And yeah, Anyway, it's very negative energy, and I don't think it's a cultural thing. I really don't. I think um, overall we've been influenced by a negative force on the planet, and I'm not going to call it the devil because some people don't relate to that, but I do believe there's some negative forces, some negative energy on the planet that is enjoying winding us up just to see where we go. Really. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching these videos on YouTube, and they're getting darker and darker and darker, and I'm like, okay, time to go, time to shut it off, time to do something else. So just take a walk, have a bite to eat, maybe make myself something. I don't have much food, but I used to make grilled cheese with a little bit of fried onion, a little bit of fried green pepper with some cheese and some mayonnaise with a little garlic. So that's basically a you know a ghetto aioli sauce, and put it on a roll with a little bit of cheese if you have it, or Parmesan cheese or any kind of cheese, and melt the cheese in the oven, toast the bun in the oven, then you got a little sandwich. So I'm going to make myself a nice little grilled cheese without the grilled cheese. So an aioli sandwich with onion and red pepper and a bun. And that makes me feel better, taking care of myself. So I'm the reason I'm posting this video is because I wanted to do the opposite. I didn't want to focus on the negative. I want to focus on something positive. And in the 12 steps, they talk about um, doing a gratitude list to get ourselves out of a negative spiral or just to help improve our life. There's an author called named Melody Beattie, and she is a recovery guru on codependency. And she said she moved into this house that they bought, and it was dilapidated, and there was like all kinds of layers of wallpaper on the walls that when she tried to take it off, the wall came down, and the floors was this. Anyway, she worked on when she put her children to bed. She sat in the middle of her living room, and she tried to be grateful for the space just the way it was, just the way it was. Knowing that it wasn't perfect, but be grateful for the roof over the head. It may leak, but some people don't have a roof at all. Maybe the floors squeaked, or there was a hole here and there, but at least there were floors. And at least her family was together because her son eventually died. I don't know what of, but eventually her son died, and I think in that particular story, her son was still alive. So that was to be made grateful that she had a family. And not everyone has a family. I don't have a family right now. And so, what's my point? I'm trying to be grateful for the way things are right now. And I've been thinking lately, they say that that trial and tribulation makes us stronger. That trial and tribulation can prepare us for better things in life by making us stronger. And right now, I'm arguing if pain can cause growth, then imagine what love could accomplish. You know, we're on this planet and we suffer and we suffer and we suffer. And I don't know if that's right across the board, but it seems to be, in my view, that seems to be what's happening. We suffer, and so I want to take this moment to be grateful for. Um, I have a beautiful apartment, you know, and I have a beautiful home, and it's my sanctuary. But I know it can be taken at any point in time. You know, when you try and set boundaries with people who may have their own motives for seeing you destroyed or homeless or suffering more, you know, it. I have to be grateful because tomorrow I may not have a home. If I go to court tomorrow and get arrested, I could lose my home. So um, I'm grateful also to know when to shut off the negative. I'm grateful to know when enough's enough and I'm being unduly influenced by the videos I'm seeing or by my negative thinking or by the things I tell myself about how I look. Um, I'm grateful that at some point I know to walk away from the mirror because I'm not helping myself by looking in the mirror anymore. I'm grateful to know that I'm hungry. And, you know, self love involves taking care of myself a bit, taking care of my home. I'll probably go out for a walk after I eat something. Um, and I'm grateful to. I don't know who's posting these videos, but I've been receiving a lot of posts on YouTube. MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, loving his videos. Um, same with Imagine Dragons. His name's Dan Reynolds. I've been seeing a lot of his performances, and my friend Optics. A lot of positivity from him. As an up and coming musician, how hard he works. I'm not sure if she's real or AI, but a Demonica Quinn, loving her stuff. It is raw and real, and oh wow, powerful. For women and men that have been made fun of and verbally beat up or even physically beat up because of the way they look or their outlook. Her music is hard hitting, and some may seem very crude, but it's yeah, I'm giving a shout out to Demonica Quinn for taking the risks as a woman to put that kind of music out. Um, because it won't be well received to everyone and be very misunderstood by a lot. Also, what is it? It's a country rap, an AI country rap. What is badass country rap? Is that what? I don't know. Anyway, I'm enjoying them. Some Odin Echo, some Viking rap, some Rox Lula. Enjoying them. And yeah, I was in my favorite shoe store the other day downtown Guelph. It's called If. If you need good quality, they're very expensive, but they last and very practical. So they, shoes that mold to your foot. Like a proper sandal, a proper healthy sandal, but a little bit of wedge, something you could wear to a summer event with a dress. Or there's menswear too, really exciting menswear. They've got lots of sales. They've got up to 50% off, and they're quite expensive shoes. But when I can, I buy there. So they're in the middle. They've tore up downtown Guelph, something awful. So they are on the corner of Court Street and Wyndham, and there's also a place called Play with Clay there that has like an adult part in the back. It's not X-rated. They serve drinks or coffee, some food, and you can go in there and mold some clay or paint something that's already made. So if you're looking for a date night, it's a nice little place back there. If you want to go for dinner and a drink and just play around with some clay, I like to make salt and pepper shakers. So there's a challenge for you. See if you can make yourself some working salt and pepper shakers. There's a challenge. Everyone needs salt and pepper shakers. So yeah, I'm grateful. I feel like one of the most hated people on the planet right now. That may or may not be true. Um, but I'm grateful to Eminem too. There's been quite a bit of Eminem come up, but I'm not fond. Someone seems to have AI'd the shit out of his music, and Rihanna's in there. I'm not liking that stuff. Um, it doesn't even sound like him. It isn't him for sure. And I'm concerned about his safety. To be honest, I don't know where he is, but I hope he's okay. Um, he's one of my heroes for sure. He told it like it is, and he suffered and suffered and suffered with people who misunderstood his music and his addiction. So yeah, yeah, I guess I'm grateful for my home, and I'm grateful for my two legs. I'm grateful for my ability to make myself something half decent to eat. I'm grateful for music. Grateful for dance. Grateful for a creative mind. Grateful for the sun. But it's dark. My head feels heavy. My head feels very heavy. So, if you're listening, give a thumbs up, give a heart. I could certainly use some love. Um, yeah, peace and grooviness.